Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Los Angeles Latino Chamber of Commerce webinar. And I'd like to get started. So welcome, everyone. So hello, everyone. Thank you for being with us this morning. Today, we are excited to have you join us for our first webinar of the year. And our partners are LA County. Today's topic is how to partner with LA County to grow your business. Hello, I'm Olivia Rios, Director of Operations and Programs at the LA Latino Chamber. We have so much information for you this morning that we want to get started right away. Today's experts are both at LA County Workforce Board and will share topics that are relevant in your everyday of how to do business, and the key takeaways will be overview of the public workforce system, hiring people with disabilities, and most importantly, how to leverage their department to get workforce for your business. So before we start, you ask you be mindful and mute yourself. Ask questions in the chat box or raise your hand. In the chat box, please share your name, company name, and industry. And if you have a question, please ask in the chat or raise your hand like I mentioned, and I'll be monitoring the comment session. And once again, this session is being recorded and will be available at the end of this week. So our presenters are Maritza Duby Uribe, who's the executive director at this, and she works for the largest workforce region for the state of California, and that is the Workforce Development Board. Maritza has over 29 years of county experience and has extensive experience developing, operationalizing, launching, and leading innovative, result-focused, partnership-driven programs, policy, and initiatives. Our second presenter is Greta Satan. She is the Senior Deputy Director at LA County Workforce Development Board as well. She has over 30 years of experience with the county, and as a principal coordinator with the Workforce Division in Planning and Policy Development, Greta oversees the board's initiative funds, operations, budgetary, legislative, and strategic planning. So welcome, ladies. And with that, I'll turn it over to Maritza and Greta. So thank you, ladies.
Well, thank you, Olivia, for that wonderful and warm introduction. This is a fantastic way to start the new year, at least the new calendar year. It is always a pleasure when we're able to meet with our business community friends and just really see what it is that we could do for you. Just a few housekeeping rules. If you have a question, please feel free to go ahead and raise your hand and or put it in the chat. We really want to share with you that we are providing an overview on mainly the system itself, but we're also going to break down some elements that were covered. We're making it a point to have some of our subject matter experts, for instance, in the area of disabilities, that'll be coming later on in the month to present for you. And we will even share that schedule with you afterwards. All right, so with that, Greta, I will pass it over to you.
Okay, good morning, everyone. And thank you, Olivia, for the warm welcome. And thanks, Maritza. And we're so glad to be here and that you joined us today. So with that, with overview of our workforce development board and the area that we cover, we wanted to start off with our great map of LA County. As you can see, it is a large area that we cover. And that's just not only by us, which we are shown in the light blue color, from the north, south, east, and west, and all over the LA County. You could see that there are other colors on the map that are depicted for the other workforce boards that we are partnered with. The other workforce boards are the LA City, the Long Beach Pacific Gateway, the Southeast LA County, as well as the South Bay, the Glendale Verdugo Consortium, as well as the Foothill Pasadena Consortium. As you can see, we are covering the largest area. We cover actually the 58 cities of the 88 cities of the LA County, which is really, really large. And that also, we cover the 160 unincorporated areas of the LA County. With that being said, under the Department of Economic Opportunity, we cover all LA County. So we partner with our workforce board partners, as you see in the, on the map, to provide the services to all the businesses, the over 550,000 businesses in LA County. So with that being said, I'm going to move on to the next slide. In our workforce area, we work and operate via the network of our 19 America's Job Centers of California. There are job centers that we serve the job seekers as well as businesses. We have 7 comprehensive AJCCs. We will call those America's Job Centers of California with an acronym of AJCCs. You will hear a lot in our PowerPoint presentation. And with that, we do have also a co-location of the EDD representatives at our job centers, which that gives the job seekers an access point to the services that the state provides. With that, we have another 3 standard AJCCs in the county, which they have a direct access to, again, EDD services and many of our services that we offer. We have 7 affiliated AJCCs, which they are located at adult schools and community colleges. We have 1 unit AJCC that is combined with the LA City, and we have 1 specialized AJCC that serves the veterans countywide, which is in City of LA at the Bob Hope Patriotic Hall. So with that, I'm going to move on to the next slide. So our system, it's divided into 4 regions because of, as you saw on the map, how much we cover. So geographically, it's not easy to have just one system, to cover one area and provide the services to the full community, because every geography and every community needs a different assessment. So they have different partners, different business partners, different community-based organizations partners. So in order for them to coordinate and align their services, we divide them into 4 regions. So the region 1 is more into North area, the Antelope Valley, Palmdale, Lancaster area. And the region 2 is more into the East LA and the Alhambra, Southeast, and Slauson, as well as the Veterans AJCC. And then the 3rd region is more into Pomona, Covina, West Covina, and the San Gabriel Valley, Baldwin Park, Rio Hondo, and Whittier. And the 4th one is in Rancho and Willow, and South LA and West LA. So kind of that's how we regionalize them. So in order for you to partner with any of these AJCCs, you are having access to the full region services that they provide. So it's much better access and much better outcome that you will receive. I hope there are no questions, right? There's no hand raised. I don't see anything.
No.
If there's any questions in the chat, we're happy to actually answer right now during the presentation. So feel free to put your comments or any questions in the chat for us.
And thank you, Greta.
If you can, yeah.
And yes, Marianne Lopez asked if you could receive a copy of this workshop, and absolutely, because there are some hyperlinks that there's really so much information that we will not be able to do this presentation justice in 1 hour. But before I move on, I would like to take the opportunity to also thank Chairman Sauceda, who graciously asked us to help and inform this community with information. As many of you know, we are very fortunate that Chairman Sauceda is also the chair of our workforce board. And he is by far like the strongest advocate I know for small businesses. So we are very thankful for his leadership. Thank you, Daryl. So you're probably wondering, like right now, well, who can help me? So that's great. You saw the breakdown that Greta provided on our services. And, you know, jokingly, we call ourselves LA country because, as many of you know, I think we're in the GDP, like the 9th largest country in the world, at least pre-pandemic, if we were compared that way. So the good news is that I clustered it into like 3 different categories to see who is it that can help you best and given what your business needs are at that point in time. So just a little brief background also, thank you. Our department, which is the Department of Economic Opportunity, was literally just created in July. It is the brainchild of the Board of Supervisors, probably since like 2014. As many of you know, Supervisor currently Hilda Solis was the Secretary of Labor under the Obama administration. And when she came back from Washington, she was really intent that she wanted to better align the county and the county services and services for business in particular, similar to how it was done in DC. And what DC was doing was they had economic development paired with workforce development, where traditionally in LA County was separated. So come July 1st, the Department of Economic Opportunity came up. And the reason I'm bringing it up is that these logos will be easy for you to understand, okay, who is the key player that's helping us move this information and access to this information forward? Because again, brand new year. I know many of you have suffered through the pandemic, unfortunately, and as the economy is picking up, even though we still are within an endemic, it is really time for all of us to get together and let's get this economy going. So let's say that you are interested in training needs. Our first category, which is again our AJCCs, that is really your main hub, that if you need training for your current staff, if you are looking to hire new talent. We also offer recruitment, talent acquisition. We also oversee several business incentives. We also help process tax credits, which we'll go over a little bit moving forward. Should your business feel that you may need to lay off, like a major type of layoff, not onesie twosie, we do have layoff aversion services and rapid response services. One thing I did not mention is that everything that we offer is no cost to you as a business, because technically you've been paying for a lot of it through your taxes. So this is your tax dollars at work. An exciting element to share in the next category, as I indicated, the Department of Economic Opportunity, we are super excited because we now have the Economic Development Unit that was formerly at the county CEO level as part of our department. And we also have the County Office of Small Business. So really having the workforce development side of the house, which is what Brett and I represent with our America's Job Centers of California, and balancing that now with the actual Office of Small Business and Economic Development Unit, it is just like phenomenal. This is, I don't know which is more exciting. Honestly, they're both, it's like, what's more important, your left hand or your right hand, right? So, but you'll see. So technical assistance is something that I keep hearing that our small businesses would like to have help in that area. So we do have that. We'll talk a little about it later in the presentation. I won't belabor it here. We also offer with permitting. And again, you have to keep in mind that within LA country, as I jokingly call it, we have the other major player, which is the city of Los Angeles. So city of Los Angeles is literally a universe in and of itself, which many of you know, but also LA County is an equal, if not larger universe. So many times what I've noticed is that small businesses in particular, don't really know that the county world exists. So this is an opportunity to really change that. So again, we can help with permitting, access to capital, facade improvements, and there's other services available as well. In terms of other partner services, there's a few that I really did want to highlight because I know these are some golden nuggets that the business community is not aware of. So for instance, job coaching for select new hires. We have a strong partnership with the Department of Rehabilitation, which you will meet later in the month, should you join that work group or that webinar, pardon me, where the Department of Rehab has job coaches that can provide extra support to a new hire. I'm not sure if they can do it for an existing hire. Many of you are probably wondering, well, what exactly is a disability? And the current definition, quite honestly, is very broad, and it could be barriers that are visible and those that are invisible. So for instance, given a lot of the trauma that was experienced by many individuals over COVID, depression could be one of those elements that is preventing someone from working properly or just working, anxiety. And literally there's a whole entire wraparound unit that assists individuals with this. Again, we'll give you more details on that later. Child support was another important one I wanted to raise, especially for those companies that are more male dominated, such as the construction field. We know that sometimes child support is an issue, and businesses, you are required by the law to capture payment for child support. So in this presentation, there is a hyperlink that kind of walks you through if you have questions about that. But more equally exciting, I wanted to let you know that we have a partnership with the local LA County Child Support Department. And if there's an individual, for instance, who their driver's license has been suspended for lack of paying into child support, we all know that if you don't have your license, you technically can't really confirm your right to work. And so that is a big impediment. So what the agreement is that an individual would register with our AJCC. They're demonstrating that they're looking for work. We would do what we can to help them find work. And in the process, child support will lift and pause collection. They will lift the restriction on the actual driver's license, because the whole idea is really to get this individual working and help, help provide for their child or children. So again, that in and of itself is like its own easily an hour discussion. If there's interest in that sort of a webinar, we will have the subject matter experts really do the deep down discussion for you. Also wanted to bring to your attention, you may or may not be aware of employer training panel dollars. Technically, you as an employer, when you pay your taxes, there is a portion of your taxes that goes to the state fund, and it is available to you to upskill your team. So perhaps, there might be an opportunity for you to scale your business up if your team knew how to do, X, Y, or Z training. And you may think you don't have resources for it. This is definitely one of those resources that's available to help upskill your current team. Another hidden nugget for everyone is the Employment Development Department Fidelity Bonding Service. So this is a specific bonding service up to $15,000, and it is really to inspire you, the business owner and employer, to consider hiring individuals that you may be considered at risk. So for instance, someone who may have a connection with the justice system, or oftentimes, sadly enough, there's a stigma on families that receive public assistance and they're seen as a risk. Well, this is an opportunity that's available for you at no cost, and our AJCCs would help provide the actual onboarding documents for that resource. The next one, just briefly to share with you, and again, the link is there, is mental health. I mean, no doubt mental health is something that is what makes us human, right? And it's very important. And if anything, another learning lesson from the pandemic was how important getting adequate and timely mental health services. The county as a whole does offer a variety of resources for mental health. And again, it was a very robust toolkit. Some of them at minimal fees, some are at no cost. Again, that's something that I at least wanted you to be aware of. And if you need a deeper dive moving forward, then we will make arrangements and ensure that we have someone from mental health, LA County Mental Health Department, to come and give a proper discussion on that. So I know I talked a lot about various categories, not seeing any questions in the chat, no hands up. All right, then we will continue. Next slide, please.
I'm clicking on the next slide, but it does not go. Give me a second, maybe it's just
No worries.
All right. Oops, maybe it was, once it starts, it will go further and further. Give us, so just.
That's okay. Technology is always wonderful when it works.
Yeah. All right, so.
There we go. Thank you, Greta. So here's just, again, a summary of what our workforce system can help and offer you. As Greta had mentioned earlier, within the LA County Basin, there are 7 workforce development areas, and many of them offer some of the same resources, I would say, of course, depending on where the business is located. But of course, LA County does offer additional resources that, you know, we'll go over a little bit later, but really we want you to think of us. My joke, and it's not a funny one, is that we're one of the best kept secrets. And really it sounds like a good thing, but it's not. We should be your go-to partner to meet your hiring needs. What we can do is help you with workforce solutions. We can help you again with recruiting and hiring your talent. We can help you understand the qualifications and eligibility for financial incentives. Some of them we operate, some are through other partners. Again, we have no cost technical assistance. We have access for you to understand and take advantage of workforce tax credits, applying for training funds, and applying for grants. One thing I wanted to highlight also on the recruiting and hiring talent, any individual that we would send your way is guaranteed to have the right to work. So in order to participate in any of our programs, that is one of the main eligibility criteria that must be demonstrated. So you never have to worry that if someone is coming your way, that they would not be eligible to work. Like for instance, individuals that are dreamers, they are eligible to work. Sometimes that's a misunderstanding that they may not be. As long as their dreamer status is still active, they are very much eligible for our resources and to work legally in the US. Was that a question, Greta?
No.
Okay, next slide, please. All right, so here's the exciting part. We want to kind of highlight for you one of our programs in action. I am very happy to let you all know that prior to my current assignment, I was the regional manager who oversaw our county's youth program known as Youth at Work. And actually Greta also was a pioneer with me at that point in time. And let me tell you, business friends, this is one of the best tools that you could take advantage of in a good way. Youth at Work is a employment program, work-based learning for our young people ages 14 to 24. And yes, we agree that you're likely not going to hire someone who's 14, but you may consider it someday, having them answer phones during the summertime. Of course, we know that there's work permits involved, so our AJCCs, and we as well have a very good relationship with our local school districts, which, by the way, in our area, we have about 78 or so that we work with. In addition to LAUSD, who has a handful of our youth. But know that it's a big production. Over the years, we have many graduates that have, because the experience has been so rewarding for them, they've literally told us, like, you know, we didn't think we could even do this kind of work. Like, I never thought we have people that at 15, we had them work at a law office, and they were just answering phones, and they were so inspired by the work that they saw that they said, you know, I know this is my calling. Like, I want to go to law school now. And this, we're talking, you know, these are kids are all low income for the most part. You know, children of immigrants, like I am a child of an immigrant. I'm sure everyone on this call for the most part is as well. So we're talking like this program can help you not only give a young person a chance and to look at life in a different way, but you can also groom your talent from within. Because if you can hook it to a young person, like as young as 16, like you really got someone that can work with you during the summers, potentially vacation. By the time they graduate from high school, that may be your next, you know, VP, who knows, right? Maybe not after they graduate from high school, but at least you're grooming them, moving them forward. So how it works is that you, for any of our programs, are allowed to interview candidates, and you will only pick up candidates that you think are a good fit for you at that point in time. For the youth program, it does really require you to provide supervision and a safe workplace. One thing that we were able to introduce because of the pandemic is remote work. So if you actually honor telework for some of the services that you do, this could be a good option. I can give you an example of our young people are really creative. So the bright logo that you see at the top corner that says Youth at Work, that was literally one of the assignments of one of our youth at one point in time. And he created the logo. We thought it was perfect. Thank you, Greta, for highlighting it. And that is literally an example. And that was a young person who was starting their first year. It was they were starting their first year at UCLA, and they were the first in their family to go to college. And really was a young person who was very creative in photography and graphic design. And we're just pleased to really tell this wonderful story about it. I didn't mention the exciting part is that now our hours have been increased to about 160. We pay at the current minimum wage for the county, which is a little bit higher than the state. We also cover the workman's comp, so that should also be very exciting for you. So as a business person, again, supervision, safe workplace, and confirming the hours that they work. So help us mentor, train, hire, like boost your business. Literally, strategically, the young people can help move this economy forward. An interesting fact is that when the pandemic first hit, more than half of the initial individuals that were impacted by everything shutting down were young people ages 16 to 24. So let me tell you, these young people, believe it or not, are really moving this economy. Next slide. I have a good, I'll condense it. It's a good story. I'll start it since the slide's a little slow. So one of our partners, and I thought this would be a good example for the small business group. One of our partners in the Antelope Valley one of our success stories was with Farmers Insurance. So at the time, you know, understandably so, this small business owner was very reluctant to even consider it. But fortunately, this person did. And they agreed that they really needed help, and they were tired of the traditional means of trying to find Thank you. Of trying to find help and retaining help, especially in entry level. So this person said, okay, I'm going to agree and I'm going to look at or have position for 3 individuals. So these were 18-year-olds. And at the time, we only were offering 100 hours of paid work experience. As indicated, now it's 160. So what happens traditionally in our AJCCs is that before they go to any assignment, they're offered 20 hours of professional enrichment training, which includes financial literacy, work ethic, goal setting, and, you know, a lot of the basics that we take for granted, right? That young people should know because that it may be taught at home, but sometimes it's not. So in the end, like we weren't surprised, but our business partner was really pleasantly surprised that these young people did such a phenomenal job that he actually hired them at the end of that term. So I honestly am not sure if they're still employed with him, but I think that really is a real true down to earth story that makes a big difference. And I understand that that was so successful that this insurance company, should the need arrive, they still continue to work with our local AJCC and identify young people again, starting them through the summer program, which the summer program or youth at work is really a year-round program. And I did see a question from Mr. Brian Mayhall. Does the youth at work program allow for remote work? And the answer is yes. That is something now that the pandemic allowed us to experiment with. We also, just a little selfish plug, we have another opportunity for a similar program. It's Youth at Work Elevate. It does offer more hours. You're welcome. That one, we'll share the flyer with you because it's a little more specialized for a select group of priority populations. And Ms. Lopez, thank you. Don't think, let's do it. Let's do it together. I appreciate that. We will be very happy to coordinate conversations with you. All right, next slide. And keep the questions and comments coming. I think we should have a competition actually by the end of the call and see how many of the Latino members actually sign up for our services. I think we might have some nice Latino swag or something that can be leveraged for that. All right, and now I will take a little mini break and turn it over to Greta.
Okay, thanks, Maritza. Yes, following up with, the follow-up of the youth at work, we do have on-the-job training program, which is the OJT program, the hands-on training program that is very, very favorable also to the business owners, which it is at very low cost at this time. 90% of wages are being reimbursed per the candidate that is working for your business under this OJT program. And the low risk and the high value means to hire the new talent, the way you are assessing them during this OJT program, the period that is giving you very a good assessment of the talent that you are working with them and training them. This is a good way of, getting your talents, finding your talent, and also retaining them for a long period of time. So you agree to hire one of the candidates when you are signing up for this program. Not necessarily you have to hire the candidate, but you need to work with the AJCC, and you look at the candidates that they will offer for you based on the need of your business. That's the program that will benefit you in that sense that you will also be eligible for combining all the tax credit as well, while having the person at your business site. So again, this is one of those programs that we are very proud to offer right now, with the 90% of wages reimbursed, which usually it is 50%, like half of the wages we pay and half the business owner pays for the wages. But for a very limited time right now, we are reimbursing up to 90% of wages. So we need you as partners to actually help the individuals that we have in our pool of the candidates. And based on their preference and your preference, we will match them to the best available and the needs of the businesses. So sign up with us, talk to us. We are there to help you with this program as well. And
could I just really quickly add something,
Yeah.
Brett? I'm sorry.
Mhm.
I just wanted to clarify that what makes on-the-job training unique is that you business, you are the driver. Like literally, you are the one who's saying, I need them to know X, Y, and Z, whatever that specification is to the training. The idea is that you have the opportunity to be the trainer because you know what your business needs. You also have the opportunity to say, you know, I really saw a training that I liked, and it's being offered by a local community college, or it's being offered by one of the adult schools for a short-term certification. That's what I need my team to have. That's what this training will cover. So I wanted you to be, it wanted to be clear that you as the business are very much involved in identifying, potentially delivering. You don't have to though, because we know you're busy people, but you are defining the training. So to be quite honest, like the intent is at the end of the training, you have trained someone to your specifications. So why wouldn't you want to hire them? We can't make you, but why wouldn't you want to hire them? And I'm not sure what link you're asking about, Ms. Moncayo, but we will share the presentation with you, and there's links embedded in there. And Mr. Bott, yes, you would choose the candidates, and that would be like the conversation. Is it, do you want to see resumes? You know, again, the pandemic showed us that virtual is like a way to go. So we have been very successful at hosting virtual interviews as well. But that's something we can talk about. But thank you, Greta. Take it away.
So we have an example of a business homestead that we were working with to fill their certified nursing assistant positions that they had problem and the challenge of finding and retaining those talents. Their turnaround was very high. People would come in and leave. But the solution for them when they you know, refer to us and to the AJCC, they actually work with them specifically based on their zip code to find the local candidates that they will be sustaining and not leaving that due to some other circumstances of the distance or whatever that may be. So it is the way that the AJCC will work directly with the business, and that's what they did to find the exact needs of the business. And they would they actually looked at their talent pipeline and look at their candidates and found the best candidates and provided those referrals. And those individuals started working as an you know, on this OJT program. And what the result was very good, because you know, the employer was so happy with those candidates that they started and they hired them. And what interesting is that also the incentive of that 50% of the wages that the employer should have gotten and they received, they actually paid it back to the hired individuals as an incentive to retain them. So it's an innovative way of this business to think about how to retain these individuals based on the program that provided them with this extra dollars of half of their wages. So this business thought, how am I going to have my return on investment of putting this much time in training them and bringing them to where my business needs are. So if I pay them this bonus money, I could actually have them with our company for a longer period. And so that way, it's a win-win on all sides. And we're happy to bring this example to you, so you can see how successful this program can be. Maritza, do you have anything to add to this?
Nope, I think we're good.
Okay, very good. So moving on to another program. Oh, my internet is working better now. Okay, as we move along, we are going to tell you about another training program that we offer under incumbent worker training, which this is designed to actually provide the businesses with their training needs of their employees, actually to bring them and upskill them to another level. As we put it there, the employer must commit to a 20% wage increase after the training program is completed. So that way, the business is actually boosting their talents by utilizing the county's incumbent worker training program monies to upskill their talents, to bring them to another level. So, and then you can also backfill the other positions that are already you are in need, because you are bringing up, promoting people to the next level. So now you can also work directly with the AJCC, the BSRs, to fill in those positions as well under the other programs that, we already explained under OJT, for example, or the Youth at Work program and many others. So if you are partnering with the AJCC, definitely you are gaining a lot of benefit because of all these programs. If you combine them and you be innovative of utilizing each program, you can actually just recruit. You can utilize the services that the AJCC provide, as well as the supportive services they provide to the candidates that they refer to you. So I don't think we touched upon the supportive services. That's another key element for the candidates that are in these programs to retain in the program because of some hardship with transportation, for example, or childcare, or maybe money for tools or uniforms, the boots, or anything that they need based on their need and based on the program and what the job would require for them. The supportive services also is available for those candidates. So take advantage of that, because it's something, as Maritza said, we don't want to be the best kept anymore, which we never intended to be, but we are, and we just want to end that as well. So on that note, we are moving forward. If there's no question on that slide, I can move along with the another program, exciting program, which is customized training program. I'm looking at the clock. It's 11:47, so I'm going to go faster.
Yeah.
So customized training program is another great program. As I said, this is a program that is designed specifically for your business to customize to formulate the training that is customized for your own need. So we will pay up to $7,500 per trainee for your business to grow. So think about also utilizing of this customized training. You can also work with a school or a college to provide those trainings, but the training dollars will be paid by us. So it's free to you to upskill your employees to the next level and grow your business. And I'm going to move into the next slide, which is the rapid response employer assistant, which Maritza mentioned in the previous slide. It's under AJCC. This is an assistance and service that we provide for preventing a layoff or preventing closure of a business. Once we hear from the business that they're closing, or they are laying off individuals. So that way we have a triage team that will help the individuals, the employees, as well as the employer that is at the verge of being closed or laying off the employees. So we help the employees to upskill and train, find another job, and the trainings that they need, as we explained some of these training programs. So we help the employees to boost their morale. And sometimes we can also prevent the layoffs by assistance that we give. So we step in to help the businesses and assist you, the business owners, as well as the employees. So utilize this program as well. It's federally funded, and we are happy to help you with under this program. Maritza?
Yeah, thank you. And just quickly on the rapid response, you don't change the slide. You know, should there also be a union involvement? We also help with that. Many of you have probably heard about Farmer John closing. So we've been working very closely with the local union to see how we could, and this is in partnership with the city of LA, to see how these impacted workers, and there's about 2,000 of them, can be upskilled or transitioned to other opportunities. So know that this is like literally something that happens, thank God not on the daily, but in terms of rapid response, but it does occur. All right, I wanted to share just a few exciting tax credits that you may or may not be aware of. Just key things to keep in mind about tax credits is that they do involve priority populations, many of them who we represent, such as veterans, people experiencing homelessness, former, current foster youth, individuals receiving public assistance, individuals connected to the justice system, individuals also who may have disability or who have disabilities. Just keep in mind that these are individuals that can work, and they have the ability to work, and through the joint resources that we have for training, there's no reason why they shouldn't work. One thing that is really key is that the timing of these tax credits has to occur before the person is hired. I went to a small business gathering last week with, for instance, that we held, and there was a business who was saying, "Oh, I had no idea about." I'm going to talk quickly in a minute about the homeless hiring tax. They're like, "We just finished hiring like 15 people. Like, can we do anything now?" And I, and unfortunately, I told them no, because we can't request retro waivers. So this is something that is really important for you to think about and know. And think of tax credits in our programs as really tools in your toolkit that can help you strategically, when it makes sense, build and grow your business. Like I said, it can start with a youth. This youth might be homeless and they may also be a foster youth. There's potentially a double credit there. The homeless hiring tax credit is something that I'm proud to share that our department actually helped to make it come into reality. And it started actually January of last year. And for that one in particular, it's everything has a process I will share with you, but we are there to help you guide through it. A company can claim up to $30,000, and that would be $10,000 per hire on this tax credit. Of course, a key thing of claiming tax credits is your tax status has to be current. So you have to ensure that your taxes are current, plain and simple. We will have a subject matter expert from the federal tax board come and provide a presentation. We had one from one of our local partners the other day, and I thought, oh, this is really good. Just the timing was off, but that's something that we will have for you in the future. It's important to know that also these tax credits, they are time sensitive in that depending on the law that they were built upon, they may be grandfathered in perpetuity, but some of them may not. So for instance, the tax credit for the homeless hiring ends in 2026. So there is time for you to take advantage of that. And again, just looking at the amount, sometimes it's minimum of 1,200 to 10,000, and that could be per hire. Sometimes, depending on which tax credit, you can roll them forward. So again, think about these as your tools to plan how you can, expand your business, or you know what you have in mind for your business, but just know that we have these resources for you. All right, next slide, seeing how we're coming close to the end. And these two have hyperlinks. All right, so this is like a really exciting piece that Mr. Mora, you were asking about in particular. This is really what our Office of Small Business has to offer. And again, I'm just here being the messenger, but my aim and my goal is to connect as many small businesses with our Office of Small Business. We have what's known as the Small Business Concierge that really can help to determine, they provide technical assistance. And literally, this is a listing of all the various resources that we have available for you as a small business. An exciting piece is for those of you who, may be a startup or who know a startup. We have also established our Entrepreneur Center in East LA. And as you can just gather by just this brief 1-hour summary. And it's really just like a very, very high level view of what our system has to offer the business community. I mean, strategically, again, these are the elements that you can utilize to grow your business over time and help us not keep it a secret anymore, because that is just a shame for everyone. I didn't want to go into detail reading it because I want to talk to you about some grant opportunities that are coming up. And I'm glad, Ms. Silva, that you are interested in youth at work. That is wonderful news. Thank you. Okay, this is super exciting. This is a new grant opportunity that, thanks to the current administration and the American Rescue Plan dollars, we in LA County and through our department have over 60 million, yes, that's with an M, available for grants that will include technical assistance, other county services to help businesses stabilize and grow. The monies have not been released yet, so that is good news. The money will be available starting January. So in this presentation, you will see that there is the click here when we send it to you. Literally all you need to do is sign up, and then you will receive information on that grant because it is coming close. The other one I wanted to bring to you, the group's attention, this is only really for business owners that have childcare centers or childcare business. there is grant monies available, and you heard me say grant, not loan, for businesses. And this does close on February the 14th. Similar on the PowerPoint, there is a link. There is a tutorial, and it's even in, I think, like 5 different languages, because we are really looking at spreading the word so that business owners in this particular field are aware of this opportunity. And the grants do close February 14th. So there's still time as well. And okay, so what's next? So again, we talked about the needs assessment survey, which is going to be very brief. You know, we will get that to you before the end of the week. We are trying to compile data, because one of the questions that I'm interested in getting answers to is, how effective are we to you? If you are kind enough and complete that survey, we will also add you to our listserv so that you can also receive information about happenings within the county that would be of interest to you. And then as a reminder that we have 2 upcoming webinars as part of this series this month, one for understanding fair chance hiring and the demand side of employment initiatives. That is coming up. Actually, one is tomorrow, and then the second one is next week. And then I'm glad, Sonia, you found this to be very helpful. I see a question about, do we assess with Metro certification? I will get back to you and find out about that. I do not know that for a fact, but I will find out for you. And we do offer assistance with registering as a county vendor. And it is honestly simple. Like, literally registering as a county vendor is, you just Google doing business with LA County. They'll ask you your business, your name, contact information, and boom, you have registered with LA County. That part is simple. The other parts, you know, accessing funding and all that, of course, is a little more involved, but we are here to help you. And I know we have 1 minute left. So let's see. Olivia.
Okie dokie. Well, thank you, ladies. Thank you, Maritza and Greta, for sharing all the plethora of resources available to small business and taking the dive into each. As you can see, the county does have resources available at no cost. I believe we have monthly webinars scheduled with LA County with subject matter experts on various topics. And as that is finalized, we will share that with you. Also, all the employee training dollars that many of us don't know, it's how to upskill your current business and team. So do take advantage of that. The fidelity bonding, the mental health component, the free technical assistance, apply for grants, recruiting and hiring talent, the incumbent worker training program, tracks credits for hiring. So, I mean, there's so much. So this deck, as Maritza had shared, will be shared with those who have registered for this session. And we hope to send the survey out by the end of the week. Also, you could see this webinar on demand on our website. So that'll be available. So you could view it at your leisure. And most importantly, if you're not a member of the chamber, you should be. These are the types of resources that you get. You get coaching, you get mentoring, you can apply for some of the grants, you get to see the availability of the programs we have with our number of partners and sponsors. So a lot of that is free. So if you're not a member, do sign up. We have a membership special going through the end of this month at $105 for a single year. And that's for general membership. So if you are interested, email me at info@lalcc.org for details. And that is good again through the end of this month. So I see Mr. Chairman is on. Mr. Chairman, do you have anything you want to add?
No, what a great webinar. I'm hoping that everybody took something of value that would help your small business. And the chamber is always looking to partner with relevant groups like the LA County that could bring great opportunities to your small businesses. So, stay tuned. I think we have a couple of more very interesting topics that we're going to be talking about that would really open your eyes, and you really will be able to take advantage of these. So just want to tell everybody, thank you for your time. I know it's 12:02, and have a pleasant Tuesday.
Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Greta, let's stay on a bit though.